Nadia, this obviously is a early Gainax anime. Very, very well done. So much detail, so much attention to detail and everything. I mean, that's what Gainax is good at. They're good at, you know, hitting the detail and all this stuff. But Nadia is big. That's why I bought the sets of them, because it's just a gigantic series. So I just waited until they came out with these big mega boxes, and it just saved me like $1 million. Ponyo, everybody loves Ponyo. Obviously in Japanese. The American version I didn't like at all, or the English version. And this is why I have local social issues with this. Like, there's local anime meetups and stuff like that. But when you go to, like, they'll have an anime meetup, so they go, you visit over someone's house and you go watch anime. The problem is everybody in these American meetups all watch English dubbing. And I can't stand it. To watch this in English would just be like nails on a chalkboard to me. So that's why I can't go hang out in groups like that, because it just drives me nuts. And I don't even want to get into, why my views are that way. Someday I'll make a video that goes in more depth as to why my views are like that. Galaxy Angel, obviously Bandai made a crap ton of these. These should be all in order. Galaxy Angel, the original Z, A, S, and X. So that's pretty much, I think that's all the Galaxy Angel. If they make more, I'll buy it. Doesn't matter. Galaxy Angel's awesome. Gantz, everybody knows this. Gantz is freaking awesome. I need to watch the live action movie of this. I heard it's really good. Gatekeepers, this is one that nobody knows about. This is Gonzo's like second anime they ever made. They made this is like their first real TV series. The Blue Submarine 6 was an OVA. But this is a TV series that they made, and this was awesome. Gatekeepers is freaking awesome. If you have not seen this series, you have got to check it out. This is just one of those series where they just did everything right. I mean, everything is timed right. The music is all done right. The story is really, really good. The ending is very Japanese style. I don't expect anything for the ending being, nothing more than, everything's a big build up to finish up the overkill, crazy bad guy at the end. That's what it always is in every anime. But the build up, how their powers work, how they display those powers, the sound effects that went into the powers is just so well done. And a lot of people are missing out. I mean, they just don't know the series even exists these days. A lot of the younger gens. If you have not seen this, you really need to go take a closer look. I mean, I think you can get the entire series for like $19 on Amazon, because they have it in like the, one of those little collector sets things. You really should check it out. I mean, that's something I've talked to a lot of people, and this is the series that I'll say, hey, have you seen Gatekeepers? And most of the time, they've never even heard of it these days. A lot of people have never even heard of Gatekeepers. I just can't believe it. This is the OVA that came out afterwards. Obviously, you can tell the TV series is more bubbly, kind of like Kenshin, and this series, takes place, in the future with one of the children of the main characters in this, because this takes place in the 60s. This takes more modern day, and one of the characters' daughters is in this, and kind of follows her, but she is very serious. All the things and situations that are going around in here are very, very serious. They're not playing around. There's not a lot of a lot of child's play stuff. It's a pretty serious anime. It's not like a tough anime. It's not like Elfen Lied, where it's like really, really tough, and or like Grave of the Fireflies, where it's really, really tough to watch. This is it's a really good. Well, anything Gatekeepers is really, really, really awesome. Genshiken, I don't know. A lot of people know this because this is a newer anime. A lot of people know about this because this is like post 1999 anime. So most of the younger gens know about this series. Kujiki B Unbalanced was kind of like the side animation they use for the story in Genshiken, and there's the second Genshiken series. These are really good. I mean, if you haven't seen them, you should go pick them up, because they're about otaku culture in Japan, pretty much. And they're not completely realistic, but they're the closest I've ever seen to what a real club would be like. Generally speaking, what it would really be like to make a real comic and really go to, because Comic Party kind of does the same thing, but it's not as serious. And this is more of like kind of more of a realistic, real world view on otaku and their views and stuff. So it's pretty interesting, especially this relationship. That's why I have the box facing this way, because this is a normal person, you know, basically someone that doesn't give a shit about anime, doesn't give a shit about nerdy, geeky, otaku shit at all. And this guy is, but he's also attractive. So she dates him because he's attractive, and she slowly learns to not necessarily appreciate the ways of otaku. I don't want to say it, God, it sounds so fucking weeaboo. Appreciate the way of being a nerd, but she learns to, you know, work around it, you know, so that she can be with him and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a very important relationship, I think. It reminds me of an article I read in Japan that basically it was a Japanese wife that married an otaku, and what life was like for her being completely normal and him being a hardcore otaku fan, what it was like being married to one. So it was a really cool article, and this kind of goes into that, I think, a bit. Get Backers, this series is awesome. The picture I use in a lot of my the picture I use for my, you know, kind of like my universal avatar is basically this guy, but not the original animation version of him. Someone made a fan art younger version of him, and that's the one that I use on all my avatars, on all my web pages, on all my forums, and on Skype, and all my chats and everything. Is basically that's who he is. He just looks way younger, and it's just a cooler picture of him, I think. Get Backers, the second season has an awesome opening theme, which is done by Puro. Awesome. The first season is really good. The second season is really good. It's about the same as the second season, honestly. The first season's better. The second season's pretty darn good, but you know, I got the second season because obviously I love Get Backers, but also because and the characters, but also because the opening credits are awesome. But you know, I wouldn't put this above the first season. The first season's definitely better. Okay, so we're down to Giant Robo. This was very popular in Japan. I'm not too big of a fan of Giant Robo. I appreciate what it is and, you know, why it's so popular and stuff like that, but I like mecha, but it has to be given a different spin to it. It can't just be super classic, you know. I don't really like classic mecha, and Giant Robo's very classic and you know what it is. But you know, what interested me more in Giant Robo wasn't so much the giant robots and all that kind of stuff. It was more the other characters and their special abilities and stuff. That stuff was really cool. Ginrei Special, which is, you know, kind of a branch off of the Giant Robo series. Gintama is awesome. They're never ever going to release all this on DVD in America. That's not going to happen. I guarantee you that right now. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll release some kind of mega box set with, you know, for seasons, but that's not going to happen. As soon as I saw them release 1, 2, 3, and 4 for individual volumes for the first season, I already knew they weren't going to do it. But I bought them just because, you know, the goal for me when I start buying stuff is usually because I'm expecting the entire season or the entire series to release. By the time I bought the first volume, I already knew how big the series was. It was already on season 3 or something when I bought the first volume. So I already knew that they weren't going to finish it. They weren't going to release all of it in America. There's no way. There's no way. It would have to be as popular as Naruto to release all of it in America. So not going to happen. So yeah, I just step back and yeah, I'll buy what they come out in Gintama, but mostly just to support Gintama because I love Gintama. It is funny. If you've not seen Gintama, I'm sure you have to. But I think a lot of people have these days because it is a younger gen anime. It's a newer anime. Golden Boy. A lot of the older gens have seen this. This has been on store shelves everywhere forever. And obviously you can tell by the suggestive, you know, things. Just normal people. I know normal people that don't give a shit about anime have bought this just hoping for, you know, animation nudity. But Golden Boy's old school. This has been released on VHS and Laserdisc and, you know, I mean, this is one of the earliest. This is one of the earliest, you know, American release animations like ever. ADV has the rights to it. I guess it's not that old, but I remember it being around in 1995 or 1994. I remember it being on store shelves back then. So that's how long ago that's how long this has been out in America for. Grappler Baki. This is a really cool series. Some people missed it, but I don't know. It's pretty cheap to get these days, so I don't think it's that bad. Basically, this guy, it's just about it's honestly, it's about a bunch of guys that are just muscle-bound people, and it's kind of like the Dragon Ball build up and get strong to beat all your opponents and be the strongest kind of thing. And that's what it is. It's just it's a progression anime. That's what I call it. It's where the character starts out, you know, fairly strong, a lot of potential, but you know, something happens and they snap and they start really building. I mean, not like, you know, Naruto built at a, you know, a general pace, you know, like Ichigo and Bleach and stuff. You know, they built up in a, you know, nice gradual pace, and they got more and more powers as time went on. This is more of those, you know, this guy just, you know, he wants max power right now, and he will do anything to get, you know, it's not like magic powers or anything. It's just punching people in the face and punching and fighting, and that's what it is. But I mean, these guys just beat the crap out of each other. It's more like UFC kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool if you haven't seen it. Great teacher Onizuka. This is extremely classic, cult without a doubt. If you haven't seen it, I'd check it out. I don't know if it's the kind of anime you'd want to watch multiple times, so I don't know if you'd want to buy it, unless you think the price isn't all that expensive. Tokyo Pop, I don't think they're even around anymore. Oh yeah, they are, but I don't think they release media anymore. But yeah, Great Teacher Onizuka, that's a good one to say. Green. This one is one of those. This is one of those, you know, let's make. It's an Edo anime, you know. Let's make girls do Edo things with boys. But this series actually pushed it a little bit farther than normal. I think this broadcasted on one of those special cable channels. This was for TV, but I think it was one of those cable channels where they could, yeah, like Animax, where they could push the envelope a little bit farther than normal. So they made, so this is all tease, lots of girl and boy teasing. I mean, they go pretty far. I mean, you know, one of them was the guys throw a fish line off. They wanted to see what this girl's tits look like or something like that, so they throw a fish line out and they hook her shirt and they rip it off. I mean, they take it off of her, and you know, I don't think you actually see anything, but you know, you get the idea. The boys in this are extremely aggressive on getting the girls naked, and they won't stop at anything. So it's interesting in that thing. Here's the other part about this. You know, some people probably do know, some people probably don't know. They made a real hentai after this series. They made an OVA straight-to-video hentai based on this TV series. And it is hentai. I mean, it's basically got all these main characters, the same animation studio, and they're, well, it might not be the same animation studio. I think it's a different, I think it's like Green Bunny or something. But they're going at it. All the main characters in here, it's hilarious. Okay, Grenadier. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I think I bought this because I saw it in a music video, and I thought the music video was pretty cool. And I think I mean, you have to understand, I have a lot of stuff here, but some of these, I think I bought this entire series for like $5, so, you know, when you get good deals like that, it's like, you know, whatever. I try not to, I don't really want to buy the whatevers either. I don't want a lot of crap anime mixed in all this, you know, but I do have some. And Grenadier isn't crap, but it's not special, you know, an overly busty, you know, the only thing I thought that was interesting was some of the fight scenes in it where, you know, she's ricocheting the bullets off of her boobs to load her gun kind of thing. That was cool, but only for that one scene. The rest of the series is kind of the. I was looking more for a. I was hoping she'd be more of like a female version of Vosh the Stampede, which didn't end up happening. This is Gunbuster. I think, you know, a lot of people have seen this. I think, you know, because this is cult classic. It's one of their first things they ever made. I mean, this was incredible. I mean, back then when this came out, this was like new wave animation. They were doing some stuff in here no one had ever seen before. The story is amazing. The animation is amazing. I mean, even today, this stuff is just incredible to watch. And when this came out on DVD, I was just freaking out because, I mean, they really cleaned it up. They made it look really, really good. So, but this is the old school one from the 80s, so if you guys haven't seen this, you should check it out. And this is Gunbuster 2. Die Buster, they call it. This is really good. Obviously, you know, the Gunbuster got overkill. I mean, that's what Gainax does. They take stuff and they go really over. Look at the dust. Look at the crazy dust. You can tell they like never dust out here.